Free agent deals and trades became official. We also had the second day of the California Classic. Welcome to Game Time. Chris Miles here with Dennis Scott, also known as 3D. And when we're together, we're doing it like we're doing it to do it for TV.
Let's go.
Bronny James set out the first Summer League game on Saturday, but did take the court on Sunday against the Miami Heat. We start with LA and Miami Sunday afternoon clash. We start with Bronny James.
Oh, wait.
Did you see the hang time?
Wait a minute. I knew he had hops.
At the end. Pause the video right there, it seemed like.
Float.
But hold on. Duncan's one thing. Hitting corner threes, cashing out.
Now that's going to be important. You got to make those open shots.
What about Khalil Ware, the all-rookie selection?
Oh, watch your head. Oh, my goodness, Khalil.
12 points from last year's lottery pick for Miami.
That's go-go gadget on that one.
LA up 12 at the half. Connect 4 with only 4 points in the game. More on him in a second.
High off the glass on that one.
Cole Swider, though, back-to-back 20-point games for him. Shot 7 for 10 from the field in both games in the California Classic. Swider with 20, and the Lakers win 103-83. That is your final score. But Bronny James, 10 points in 11 minutes. 3D looked more comfortable today than we saw all of last season and all of last Summer League. What do you make of what we saw from him in his debut this year in the summer?
I'm more confident. You can watch him running up and down the floor. His instincts, that steal to go down and get that dunk. It's just happy for the young man because we know he's on that microscope. So you thought he was lost there for a second. You see the instincts, you get the steal, you out and running. And yes, I knew he had hops, Chris, but this right here lets me know this young man's been in the gym, been in the weight room, and worked on his body. Now, big picture, you have to knock down this shot because now this is your dad, this is Luka, this is someone else drawing and kicking. Can you make this shot consistently? Guess what? You can help stretch the floor for your team. Now, transition-wise, you're just super athletic. You get out and run, but this is draw and kick. Connect, yes, love the pass. Guys running at you and knocking down shots. Confidence, understanding what the NBA game is, the physicality, the pace of the game. It lets me know he learned a lot from last year. He's off to a good start here in the Summer League.
And a lot of times when we see these second-year players, there's a leap you want to see.
Correct.
Dalton Connect in 2 games. You ready for the stats? 14 points, 5 for 20 from the field, 0 for 6 from three-point range. Are you surprised that he's struggling in his first 2 games in California Classic?
I wouldn't say surprised. I would say concerned, Chris, because most guys, when you go into your second year, you're like, I really don't want to be here. What do I need to do to prove to the general manager, coaching staff that I'm a part of the big picture? Well, those first 2 or 3 games, you dominate. You let the rest of the world know, like, why is he playing? So his first couple games, he hadn't shot the ball particularly well. I like the play, making a draw and kick to Brian for the threes. He's rebounding the ball pretty well. So somehow, these next couple days, show that you can score the ball better, be more aggressive, attack the paint, get to the free throw line, and then have the coaching staff say, you know what, let's go ahead and shut him down. We've seen enough for the big picture.
We can't talk about Dalton Connect and forget about what happened to him at the trade deadline, right? Thought he was going to Charlotte.
Yeah.
He also spoke about the fact that did affect him. Do you think that that's affecting his game in L.A. and that he kind of needs to move on in order to get his groove back?
Oh, no question about it. You have to move on. When it first happened, yes, young fella, I give it to you. I don't know too many of us could handle that. Now you turn the page, you're still with the team. Now it's a new Summer League to prove that you're worth of being part of the big picture. Because when you're playing with LeBron and Luka, you got to make open shots because they have the ball in their hands most of the time. Defensively, can you guard your yard? That keeps coaching staff say we can keep them on the court. But more importantly, stay aggressive, get to the free throw line, and now you're a part of the big picture.
This week and actually on Saturday night, we got to see the 5th pick in the draft and the 3rd pick in the draft go head-to-head. Ace Bailey, the 5th pick. VJ Edgecombe, the 3rd pick for the Philadelphia 76ers. You know, he had the highest vertical at the NBA draft combine. You see it here.
That's ridiculous.
The speed and the elevation. Isaiah Collier and Keeve Aluma get into it underneath the basket.
Oh.
It's not often we see that in summer.
Well, they both pushed him. He pushed him back. And his arm got caught in the shirt. Now he's trying to get his arm out. And he grabbed him back. Now we're just pushing. We're going to go to dinner tonight after the game.
You sound like you have a future as a ringside play-by-play boxing expert. Utah by 9 at the half. Bryce Sensabaugh having himself a good season in a good summer league so far. Kyle Filipowski, 2nd-round pick last year. Watch him following up the miss, cleaning it up.
You know, one of those guys, Chris, second-year guys have to go out there and have a great summer league.
VJ Edgecombe balling out all over the place for the 76ers in his debut. So VJ missed the potential game time three, but look at the stats. Third pick in the draft, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal, 3D. He jumped off the screen, jumped out of the gym, just electric. What you looking for when you draft a guy third overall?
Well, I look for a bright future. I go back to draft night, being in Brooklyn, and just understand this young man is living his dream, sharing the story of his family, living off a generator for many years. And now his first couple games, he's just playing like what you saw in college, getting to your spot, rising up, shooting with confidence, attacking the paint, the athleticism in transition, defensively. I think that's going to be the brightest spot because he's going to be able to step right in and guard his yard, defend 1, 2, 3, the physicality. That's what the brightest spot for me for him.
Yeah, and Ace Bailey, the 5th pick in the draft, 8.7 rebounds, 3 for 13 from the field, though. What did you deduce from his struggles shooting in his first game?
Well, I think he's pressing a little bit. I think the excitement is there. You're part of the NBA now. Your dream has come true. So now just settle down a little bit, listen to the coaching staff, understand this is summer league and you're working on a small thing that may not show up in the stat sheet. So right, he's not shooting the ball particularly well, but we know he's a walking bucket. Some of the shots he missed, yes, they look a little old school, talking about those step backs. Slow down a little bit, understand the system you're trying to run here in the summer league, and play hard, rebound, run the floor hard, little things like that you can control. Everything else falls into place.
Yeah, and there was a report that Will Hardy, head coach of the Utah Jazz, said, hey, the things I did like about Ace Bailey, that he had 7 rebounds, that he had the block towards the end of the game, that he grabbed the rebound to seal the win. All of the things that he needs to work on, he focused on in that debut. When you hear the head coach say that, what do you take away?
Well, once again, Will, that's great leadership. Because this young man's gone through a lot, draft night, his age and all that stuff, even his history. So now you have a coach that understands what you're going through. Listen to your coach. Slow down a little bit, but the effort never lies on the screen. The shooting percentage will get better as you learn the system and learn the NBA better.
Well, you get to see
Ace Bailey would fare in his summer league debut. He scored 8 points on 3 of 13 shooting as the Jazz got the 93-89 win over the Sixers. What were your first impressions of the former Rutgers star?
Well, I thought that he struggled a little bit, quite honestly, tonight. But what I was really looking for was just his approach in warm-ups, and it was what I expected. It was as jovial as we've come to expect of him in various settings. There was a lot of talk about how he was apprehensive to be in Utah. I didn't think any of that was based in reality, at least his reality. I think most of that came from his representation. But whether you were watching the media availability on draft night or the introductory press conference or tonight's warm-ups, you could see he looked nothing but happy to be there. There was a huge fan reaction for him. His play, though, illustrated that he still got a long way to go, and we knew that. We knew there was extreme upside, but some growing pains were going to be necessary along the way. He's got to learn to operate within the flow. Didn't have a great shooting night tonight, but I think still you could see the talent, and I love the fact that they put him back on the floor in the last defensive possession of the game where they were guarding against the three-point line just to get him that rep. Not because he was their necessarily most polished defender, but to get him that game experience. That's what Summer League is all about.
Right. Now, Adam, you mentioned there was a lot of talk about that rumored apprehension about Bailey's willingness to be in Utah. He made headlines when he said after being drafted that he had no idea he was even on Utah's radar. So there were questions about whether or not he would even show up, but apparently things quieted down. So what do you make about how he's handling himself so far?
Well, again, I think a lot of that came down to the decisions of his representation. I don't think Ace Bailey has ever said he didn't want to go anywhere. And since we have seen him do the talking, I think everything has been all positive. He's been nothing but happy. Again, jovial is the word that keeps coming up with him. You saw it tonight, even down the stretch, a 3 of 13 shooting from the floor down the stretch of this game, and he was still happy and smiling that trademark smile. And it's that positive energy that really becomes contagious. And he's going to have to improve. He's got a long way to go, but we are talking about a 6'8", tough shot maker, big time athlete. And if he's got the positive mindset that he now appears to have, I think Utah is going to be very excited about his future.
Now, Ace Bailey, not the only first-rounder for the Jazz. Walter Clayton Jr. also making his debut, Utah's number 18 overall pick in this year's draft. He looked like a difference maker early, Adam. What did Clayton show you in his Summer League debut?
Well, I think what Clayton showed is that he understands how the role is going to be different. Right away, two things were evident in his approach tonight. Number one, he was really locked in on the defensive end. He was picking up 3/4 court. He was being active, getting his hands on a lot of balls. And then number two, he was being a distributor. He wasn't letting the ball stick. He was moving it. He was finding people. I think he ended up with 6 assists. Now, the shooting everybody knows about, although I will say that a little bit of a reality check in terms of realizing that the floor, it's a little harder to get your shot off at this level, even in summer league, than it was in college basketball. So that's going to be an adjustment. But clearly he knows what he has to do. He's got to have a better defensive effort than he was known for in college, and has to really embrace being able to play that point guard position or slide off the ball when he was on the floor with Collier. So you saw everything from Clayton tonight, and you also saw a pretty self-aware young player who understands what he's going to need to